I don't care if you've been trying to dodge Ezra Miller's attacks all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Fantasy. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Project, coming to you live and direct from the Vista Smokedown fam with all the dang shit. On my left, old ninja in the world, old ninja.
We told you long ago on the road, we got that dankness for you.
Yes, sir. Engineering on the ones and twos, choke people out on threes, fours, Chronos.
Hi.
Short and sweet. Last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
Look, there's a few things we don't talk about. We don't talk about Fight Club. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Jada.
God damn. All right. Dude, it's good to be back up on here.
Yeah, real quick. Sorry that we were late. I had to update my computer, apparently. It was like, we're not going to start unless you get these certain drivers. I was like, okay, thanks, asshole. Anyway.
Yeah, for everybody listening live.
Yeah, if you're live. So that was my fault, I guess. Listener of the week will be Brittany. Once again, thank you very much. You've been, I think, 3 weeks in a row now. Jesus.
I was about to say, Mom, that name sounds familiar.
You like
Britney
us.
Spears,
really
she
like
shouted
us.
for conservative shit.
Yeah, there's probably nobody in the
black guy
chat
in
right
my
now
life.
because we're late. Yeah, nobody in the chat yet because we've been late. Once again, sorry. So let's keep it rolling.
We'll keep it moving.
Hey.
We'll keep it moving.
CP time.
CP time for real, for real. Old Ninja, what you usually pour out something malty, beveragey, something urban. What you doing this week and for whomstead?
Urban?
Yes, I said
Malt liquors are inherently urban or not?
I mean, yeah, it is.
Okay. So we're going to pour out
a Fremontian beverage?
Is that a what?
A Fremontian beverage?
It is a Fremont one. It's from Fremont Brewery. It's B-Bomb. This is from 2017.
Nice.
So the only reason I'm doing this right now, because I bought one the other day. That's from 2016, bitches. It was like $50, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm fancy. Let's do this.
Damn. For
Wait,
beer?
it's from the city of Fremont?
No. It's the brewery's
okay.
called Fremont. Where are they from? They're from Washington, Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in that respect, we're not going to pour out the fancy stuff, or the super fancy. We'll pour out some Colt 45 on this one for Estelle Harris. She's best known as George Costanza's mom from Seinfeld, but she's been in numerous other projects as well, such as The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and the Disney animated feature film Hercules. She's in Toy Story 2 and 3 as the voice of Mrs. Potato Head. In the 1950s, she used to act in amateur groups, dinner theater, and commercials, and then moved on to guest spots on TV shows after her children were older. So when she came back to TV, she guest spotted on Night Court, Married with Children, Moesha, and Living Single, and then Star Trek Voyager, as well as numerous other shows. On April 2nd, she died of natural causes at her home in Palm Desert, California, at the age of 93. There you go. So RIP of the week.
All right.
No more?
No, I don't have
No more. All right.
Nobody else does.
Were you expecting more?
I mean, we did hit the 1 million mark in COVID deaths, so I mean that's depressing.
Yeah, goddamn.
Plus the
Smith
people
career's
in
dead.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
No, it's just paused.
I said that Will Smith's career is dead.
Ooh.
It's
Getting let go
paused,
from
not dead. It's
projects.
paused,
Yeah,
not
man.
dead.
Nah,
I mean, if Alec Baldwin can
gone.
kill somebody on set and still go back to work, then Will Smith can go back.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Are they still on this planet? No, they're in the ground.
But it was,
look at
it was definitely an accident, though.
It wasn't an accident, but he still killed somebody.
Yeah.
Look at the color of Will Smith's skin.
I mean, the
Never got Alec Baldwin.
well, I mean, if you want to be, the baby killed somebody, shot him in a store,
Yeah.
but he wasn't
He
getting
did.
assaulted at the time, so there's that.
There is that. Damn. And I know y'all probably went pretty deep
That went dark
on
quick.
Jada and Will last week, but
Sure did.
What are your thoughts?
God fucking damn, man. This shit, I didn't know it was going to blow up as hard as it fucking did. I mean, it's been a week, but it's been the topic du jour pretty much every goddamn day on these social media streets. A lot of people disappointed me with this one, namely Will. But at the end of the day, Chirs Rock was a fucking victim. He got attacked and assaulted in front of everybody. The joke was benign as fuck. It was something that everybody would have forgotten about. There was no ooh. There was no like drastically hardcore joke that was at her expense or whatever. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Most people, if you're under 30, you have no idea what G.I. Jane was. It wasn't even this big blockbuster 90s movie. It was just a middle of the road movie or whatever. It would have made more sense if you made a joke referencing like the Dora Milaje or something. That people would have understood way more than G.I. Jane, but whatever.
Chris Rock is low as fuck too. So,
Actually, that joke probably would have went over better.
Yeah,
to be honest with
exactly.
you. Yeah.
But Chris Rock has been a comedian since the late 80s, early 90s, whatever, like 30 years or so. He gets paid to tell jokes, and I've heard way more brutal jokes from Ricky Gervais at like the Oscars and Grammys and award shows.
Well, it's funny because Ricky Gervais, he said that he wouldn't have made fun of her alopecia, but it's like, what did you know about it though?
Yeah,
like
it's all this like Monday morning quarterbacking bullshit. The only reason why there's all this hemming and hawing about the joke is because of what Will did. The joke itself, everybody was just going to move on. And the other thing that really fucking sucked about the whole thing was you shit on this incredibly inspirational movie about this black father, by doing this crazy action. Like King Richard didn't get any fucking attention. Everybody was always all talking about Will Smith being a crazy fucking maniac and slapping somebody on stage in front of on live TV. Questlove got an award that night. Everybody loves Questlove, but again, he got his night in a lot of ways stolen from this. And then the biggest
for Wanda Site and Amy Schumer, they were like first female co-host for I think the Oscars. Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of people had their night kind of stolen, and at the same time, end of the day, none of it was fucking necessary. This wasn't some cage fight. This wasn't some schoolyard. These are 50-year-old plus men that have been celebrities for 30 years. I know for a fact both of them have heard much worse from paparazzi, but I think Jada, we've talked about her many times on this show. She ain't shit. And sadly, it seems like Will is a fucking hothead and has all this fucking aggression for someone who didn't fuck his wife, but none of the aggression for someone who did fuck his wife.
Yeah, but there's something I want to make sure that, at least I'm going to say, is that I don't actually, like last week I was kind of like sort of on the fence about some things, but I don't really blame this on Jada. I don't like her personally. Like the things that she's done, publicly, I don't really appreciate at all. But at the same time, I mean, like, she didn't tell him to go up there and slap that dude. So,
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're probably right about that. It doesn't look like she said anything to him. It seems like she was embarrassed or she didn't appreciate the joke. He laughed at it. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Will has to take responsibility for his fucking actions. And I saw this week he decided to resign from the Academy or something like that.
That's like, it's just all it means is that he can't vote on Oscars. He can still get Oscars. So
sure.
Did you see other?
This was his first Oscar that he had gotten. He's been trying to get this when he was in like the movie Ali and a whole lot of other like serious drama roles.
Shit.
Yeah. So again, he shot himself in the fucking foot. It was fucking ridiculous. None of it made any fucking sense. And the other thing I just want to really quickly say, the people who believe that this was Will was defending his wife, you need to miss me with all of that bullshit. His wife was not in any fucking danger whatsoever. I need to be very clear about that. She was not physically threatened. There was no sexual assault. Nobody grabbed her ass. Nobody was, backhanding her. She was safe. All celebrities, for the most part, at the Oscars get a little bit of good-natured ribbing on them from a host, especially if you're a big-time celebrity who has a lot of dirt in the paparazzi in public. She was going to be fine.
It's funny because like in Will Smith's book, he talks about how like he was picked on as a kid, but he was always like that comedian, so he was always like quick wit. He was able to make comebacks and stuff like that. Like we didn't see that day. Like he went up there and slapped Chris Rock. He could have said, a bunch of other little things like, well, you were trying to suck dicks for a cheeseburger and such as like he could have said something totally funny, but there's also some extra footage that was dropped from behind the scenes. I guess somebody was recording from their phone, and you can see that after Will Smith slapped Chris and he's walking back to his seat, he sits down. Jada starts laughing, like she's laughing at the whole situation. So it's like, okay, she definitely puppeteering or something. I don't know, but yeah, you could see her clearly laughing at what happened.
Yeah, but it's on him. You got to just his own.
End of the day,
those are his actions. So I mean,
he did it.
Yeah,
he did it. He did the dirt. I don't know. I don't know what got into him, because again, this is someone who's been famous for that long, lived in LA and whatnot, been on TV shows, been on movies, been the biggest star in the fucking world. Goddamn well you've heard much worse jokes. You know what I mean? Aimed at you, aimed at your kids, aimed at your movies, aimed at Jada. You know what I mean? He flew off the fucking handle for nothing. And again, this had zero to do with any type of defending. I was defending my wife. Get the entire fuck out of here. I heard that on social media a gazillion times. Jada was not physically threatened at all.
Has he came out and said that he did it to
I've never heard him say it. I've never heard him say it. I've heard other people jump to fucking conclusions and shit. Oh, this was defending your wife. If your wife is also a celebrity and she can't take any jokes at all, then maybe she's in the wrong fucking profession. Like, point blank. It was wild to me. I'm completely on the side of Chris Rock did his job as a comedian and got assaulted, and then sadly, because people like Will Smith so much, plenty of people just said, "Oh, well, fuck Chris Rock." The dude got assaulted on stage, and I'm actually impressed that he didn't retaliate at all. And the other thing is, Will Smith is taller, bigger, stronger. You know what I mean? Like, he's way bigger of a intimidating presence than skinny ass Chris Rock. And so he's picking on someone smaller, and he's picking on a comedian who was doing his fucking job. This was shit all the way around for Will Smith, and I hope he feels all the repercussions about this. No need for it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, Chris definitely kept his composure after the slap. Like, he kept his composure, and like, I can understand why he didn't want to press charges, because that's just fucking like a legal battle that it's just a headache. It's kind of tainted his name by him being slapped, whatever. But like, he's just trying to get over it. Like, he's trying to get past it and just continue living off his life. He doesn't want this shit to continue to drag on and it be in the news. Like, Chris finally gets $200 million from Will and blah blah blah. He probably just wants to crush it where it stands and just move on.
Let's be totally honest. Probably one of the main reasons why he's not doing it is because if he did sue him, it's gonna like tear down another black man.
Yeah, sure.
And I think that's like probably a major contributing factor to. Yeah, I think he saw that Will Smith had an emotional reaction that was way overblown, and he's gonna pay for it in his career. It's like, why kind of add to that? But at the same time, I think they could have just, like, if you're that offended by Chris Rock's joke, just like talk to him, pull him aside. Like you know the guy. Like, there's plenty of videos and photos of you guys hanging out. So all you, including Jada, hanging out. So just, hey man, like, you went a little bit too far,
Plus, him and Jada worked together. Chris Rock and Jada, they were in the Madagascar together.
Yeah,
they did. Well, they probably never were in the same room, but they were starring the same franchise or whatever.
They probably did red carpets.
Red carpets
franchise. So
true.
I mean, already, if y'all listened to last week's podcast, I already put it out there about my thoughts. Prodigy brought up the Ricky Gervais thing, as I did as well, but I was referring to the Academy's response versus the Golden Globes on what they did with Ricky. Like, with Ricky, like I said, they cut to commercial, they cut his mic. They didn't do any of that stuff on the Academy. They let the show go on. They didn't cut the commercial.
Yeah.
They didn't do any of that stuff. Golden Globes, they cut the mic, brought on sponsors. They did like a little mini thing, like, oh, we'll be back after these messages. As they see people like talking to Ricky and he's backstage, they bring him back out. At one point, he got replaced by somebody else. So, like, in the middle of the show.
at the Oscars they did mute the mics because if you're watching live, you didn't hear what Will Smith had said.
Yeah, when he
but it wasn't until he went onto Twitter. Like there was literally a video. I think the video that was trending was a video that was from Japan because you hear him speaking in Japanese in the background, and like that's how everybody knew what he said when the camera.
Yeah, I admitted, like I said last time, I didn't watch it live. I watched it on YouTube, so I thought it was
nobody
live,
did up until nobody watched until somebody got slapped.
Nope. I can tell you one movie that was up for an Oscar, and that was King Richard. That's all I know.
Also, a real big fuck you to the entire Hollywood security system in that theater, because apparently, and I don't even know if I believe this or whatever, but of course they released some press release or whatever talking about he was asked to leave and he said no. Bitch, if you're asked to leave anything, whether it's an ice cream parlor, a movie theater, a porn shop, whatever the fuck it is, if you're asked to leave, you are going to be escorted out if you don't voluntarily comply with that shit. What in the fuck kind of celebrity ass kissing is it to slap somebody on live TV, be asked to leave, and be like, no, I'm good, I'm staying here, and then nobody even fucking do anything? What the fuck do you have security for?
Yeah, and this is like,
go ahead.
Kicking him out is very tame of a response.
Sure is.
Like he could have literally been arrested on live TV. Because I mean, what he did is literally assault. So police could have came and like arrested him, but again, Chirs Rock didn't press charges. But everybody saw what happened. You know what I mean? Like if a police officer sees somebody get their ass kicked or slapped or whatever in like real life, like usually you don't even need somebody to say, oh, you know, I'm gonna press charges. They usually just arrest the person.
Yep.
You know.
Well, and the other thing to point out too, after this incident, which everybody fucking heard, everybody saw, especially if you're in the goddamn theater, you know, he gets his award for King Richard, and then guess what happens? Everybody's giving a standing ovation and clapping and cheering this man on.
And he parties.
What in the entire fuck?
It just shows like the.
But then again, it was not in front of the camera, so like.
Let out Ninja talk, please.
Yeah, well, just really quick to piggyback off of what Prodigy was saying. So I saw the reports as well, but then I saw reports like 2 or 3 days later about how that was untrue, that nobody had talked to Will Smith, that the Academy put that out to save face because they went to sources that were around with Smith, and they're like, nobody approached. They let him sit there. The people who did go, Tyler Perry, Denzel Washington, and you can see photo evidence of this. But as far as security, there's no photo evidence of any of that. And there's no witnesses said that no security came up. Apparently, the Academy put something out to save face.
I believe that. I do believe what you're putting out. I thought it was kind of bogus. I was like, because it was days later. You're absolutely right, old ninja. But
plus,
in any event, they should have.
I wouldn't think they would have security for celebrities. They'll have security to keep like the commenters out of that ball pit where the celebrities are. Like I wouldn't see there would be a reason for them to have security for the celebrities. Like they probably wouldn't have thought anything was going to pop off between celebrities. So why would they have security down there? You know what I'm
saying? There's been like,
you never know.
Security. So it's like
let me put it to you like this: had someone slapped Amy Schumer, even if it was a celebrity, I think a very different reaction would have gone on in terms of security and whatnot. The fact that it was 2 black men and one's, slapping the other, everybody, in a lot of ways, a lot of people shrugged. But if this has been a man attacking a woman on live television, I don't know if it goes down like that. I really don't.
Prentice, what were you going to say?
No, I mean, I agree with that. It's just crazy. I feel like, this it's like steps back. And it's just like it could have like never even occurred and we'd have been fine. It's like, was the joke off? Yeah, but at the same time, it's not worth slapping somebody over. Just a talk. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. Plus, the slap looked fake as hell. So probably people didn't even know it was real or not. Probably took a couple of minutes.
Well, no, seconds, because when he sat down, then he made it real by screaming out. I'm just like, really, dude? Like, you don't. When somebody does something like that, you don't seem tougher by doing that. You seem like a bitch.
Yep.
Like, seriously, you seem like a straight up bitch. I mean, if people want to say, and don't get me wrong, like, if somebody was to make fun of like, you know, my partner, it's like, okay, like if they make fun of her, like I definitely wouldn't immediately like try to fight them. You know what I mean? Like you get a couple of chances. You know what I mean? And then maybe I do something. But it's like first, like it starts with like, hey, like what the fuck are you doing? Like that's not the way you're gonna talk to her. Not, you know, I'm gonna immediately go to violence. You know, especially on national TV, and I'm a fucking millionaire. Like what the fuck?
And you've seen it like I've seen it. Almost all big name A-list celebrities get a little bit of jokes thrown at them at award shows. That's just kind of what goes into it.
People have made fun of us before plenty of times. Yeah. I've been called the N-word to my face by people that have definitely said it in not a nice way with the ER. And I didn't fuck whip their ass. I didn't stop. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You might say, oh, well, they were emasculating you. Yeah. Okay, I guess. But I 100% know I can fuck them up. But that's not the point. The reason why people do something like that, especially with the N-word, is to make you to elicit an emotional response from you to prove that you're the animal. That was not what Chirs Rock was trying to do with you know Jada Pinkett Smith or you know Will Smith. He was just making an innocuous joke. He wasn't trying to emasculate him or trying to like really tear her down. In my opinion, you know, you might have a different opinion. That's fucking fine. But you know. What happened to Will Smith? It speaks for itself. Like what's already happened to him.
Think back to the movie. I mean, we're all of a certain fucking age now. The movie G.I. Jane wasn't some punk ass movie. You know, I mean, Demi Moore was this badass in the movie, and yes, she had a shaved head. She was in the military. She was doing badass shit. It was a cool movie for its time in the 90s. It's not really much of a fucking insult. He's not calling her ugly. He's not calling her stupid. He's not calling her some racial slur. Like, I really want to digest this joke in terms of the overreaction. It was as benign and run-of-the-mill as you could possibly fucking get. You've heard, everybody who's ever gone to a comedy club has heard worse jokes told about people in the front row. Like, this was nothing. You know what I mean? And again, nobody would have remembered the joke. Literally, you would have struggled to remember. Did he say something about Jada? Oh, I can't remember. If Will didn't do this, no memory whatsoever. So yeah. Anyway, it was a sad moment. I'm sure you guys went deep on it last week. I'm just glad to be back here.
I just want to see Bad Boys 4.
There you go.
I wanted to see Martin lose some weight, come back in shape and shit all fucking buff. I wanted to see him with a six pack better than Will Smith, but we ain't probably gonna get it now. But actually, Michael Bay, I think, is still on board of making movies.
Yeah.
So just stop making, Transformers movies.
Please.
Yeah.
Speaking of Martin Lawrence, have you guys seen Fat Tuesday on Amazon?
No.
So it's a really cool documentary about the comedy club or what's it called? They start off talking about the Comedy Store down in LA, but like they started talking about like how spoiler. So Fat Tuesday was basically a Tuesday at the Comedy Store where black comedians could perform, and it became so popular that Black Tuesday the store was selling out that they eventually had to start having more black comedians show up on different days. But like they went into talking about like Def Comedy Jam and like just listening, not just listening, but like hearing like some of the jokes and like some of the comedians who started off there. Because Martin Lawrence was like the host of it for like the longest time. And then like they talk about Bernie Mac. What's his name? What's not Jamie Foxx. Bill Bellamy. He talks about Bernie Mac. Bill Bellamy does a hella good impression of Bernie Mac, and it's so fucking funny because when Bernie Mac comes out, the guy before him sucked, and he was booed and blah 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 blah, and Bernie Mac came out there and was like, "I'm not scared of any of you motherfuckers," but he said it in like the Bernie Mac like tone. It was so good. You guys need to check this. This should have been out for like Black History Month because it's like I think it's like 3 episodes. It's about like an hour long each. It's so good. They go into depth about the whole comedy scene with comedians. They talk about like Chirs Rock, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. They talk about Mooney. They talk about Martin Lawrence. They talk about like all Dave Chappelle. Like they talk about even like the small comedians like Hamburger and Chris Rock. Not Chris Rock. Chris Tucker. They talk like Chris Tucker came out because I forgot he was on Def Jam for a couple of things. Yeah,
that was his debut. Debut.
Yeah, it's
Def Jam.
It's totally worth watching just for like kind of the nostalgia of it, but like, you know, it's just interesting the struggle that like even like with comedy like black people had like a lot of comedians who like become like they get like a TV show or whatever, they have to stop being as urban, or like, you know, if you're going to tell jokes at this during a certain time frame, they can't be as urban. But when they did Fat Tuesday, that's when comedians could like really open up, and like there was a gang of people showing up to the comedy club just for Fat Tuesday. It's a really cool documentary about comedy. I think I guys should definitely check it out.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's funny when you see Bernie Mac come out at Def Jam. He's really skinny back then, but he comes out, even though he says he's not scared, he looks a little scared. But it's pretty. But he kills it. He wins the crowd over real quick. Because
one of the things they talk about is
hilarious.
They talk about Robin Harris. So if you know who Robin Harris, he was a black comedian who passed away real young. I think he was like 34 when he passed away. But he used to have this skit where he talks about his family, his baby kids, right? And the skit. So usually when you go to a comedy club, like you kind of don't want to hear the comedian tell the same joke. But for him, like people wanted to hear the baby kid story like over and over again. It got so popular that they actually made an animated movie out of it. It was actually supposed to be a TV series, but like he passed away before they had a chance to kick that off. So somebody else picked it up and turned it into a movie. But like this, his story, like him telling his jokes and where he came from, and like all the, because he was in Kid and Play movies, and some other movies like House Party, that's what it was. But like, yeah, he was just like, he was a legend that just died way too soon.
Remember Martin Lawrence?
Right at the cusp.
Martin Lawrence talking shit. That was like I used to have that shit on tape. That was like one of the greatest like comedy albums of all time. I kind of forgot about it until like I started listening to Joe Rogan like years ago. I haven't listened to like a whole episode in a while, but Joe Rogan used to open for Martin Lawrence at the Comedy Store, and he used to ball him like every night, and that's kind of how he got better, like marginally better, I guess. But yeah, it was just like go back and listen to like talking shit. But it's also like anytime you go, I'm gonna preface this because I haven't listened to the album in a long time. I remember some of the jokes, especially when he got heckled live on his fucking special. He talked about kicking dicks out of that dude's mouth. But like, I was just like, dude, that shit had me fucking crying laughing.
I don't go down to your work and kick dicks out of your mouth.
yeah. After he heckled him, and but anytime you go back and listen to like old comedy, I wanted to say especially black comedy, but I can't even say that because if I remember, like there was a lot of white comedians that said some fucked up shit too. Just remember that it's like a different era where like saying like the other F word was acceptable, and like saying like super, homophobic jokes was acceptable. So yeah, I don't want to like fucking trigger some people like, oh, you're making me listen to all this fucking homophobic bullshit. Yeah, it's homophobic bullshit in today's lens, but back then it was totally acceptable because people were assholes and didn't care about people that were gay. So
one other quick story. This actually threw me for a fucking loop, and I was like, oh, this is where that fucker came from. Nick Cannon makes an appearance, and apparently he started off his career going to Fat Tuesday, and he was like 16.
Wait, hold on, Blue, is it Fat or is it Black Tuesday? Which
Fat.
one is it?
Like the holiday, or like the before
Mardi Gras
Lent or whatever.
Gras.
Yeah, Mardi Gras, yeah. Fat Tuesday. PHAT.
Okay.
But yeah, Nick Cannon's on there, and I was like, wait, he was a comedian? I thought he was just like a joke altogether, but yeah.
Damn.
But
he did Wildin' Out and shit like that, right?
Still does
actor.
Wildin'
still does it.
He was a successful comedian, like one of the most successful if you really think about it, just financially wise.
Yeah.
That's only because he married Mariah.
Well, that makes him even more successful. I mean, how many guys were drooling over Mariah back in the day?
Dude, do you remember how Mariah had all of hip hop on lock? Like you knew it was going to be some fire if she sang the hook.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when she got down with ODB on her shit, I was like, this chick can do anything. You know?
Yeah.
I remember like the day when she was like, oh yeah, and she's also black. I was like, what? I was like, damn. I was like, okay. Like most people don't know that Mariah Carey's black.
Yeah.
She's white passing, but her dad is black as fuck.
Yep.
It's funny. I remember I dated a girl who was mixed. Kronos, who she is, back in high school, and one of her she's black and white, and one of her friends had asked her, like, how come you don't look like Mariah Carey? I was like, she wasn't ugly. She was
definitely
was a really hot
looking.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't bad looking. It's just that she wasn't Mariah Carey.
I mean, yeah.
Terrible.
Why can't you sing in break glasses and shit? I mean, come on.
Right? It's like required, I guess.
Yeah. Switching it up just a little bit. What in the entire fucking shit is going on with your non-binary boy over at Warner Brothers trying to play the role of the Flash? Have y'all heard about?
No, hold on. We already talked about that. One, this is your boy.
How is
and two, that's your boy, Ezra, because you talk about him the most, especially on Twitter. And two, he's the Kool-Aid man now. So
speaking of kicking dicks out of mouths, I'm just saying that's likely what he did. If he didn't, that's the story going forward. He kicked down doors like a Kool-Aid man, kicking out dicks out of mouths. No more fucking threesomes or foursomes or whatever.
I mean, to have like a major motion picture coming out and you can't stay out of jail, you can't stop assaulting people, you can't, like, what in the entire fuck, man? I just feel like you can't move forward with it. You know, you can't sell action figures and cereal boxes and all this other stuff if you got him going in and out of jail. But if you guys already talked about it, you already talked about it.
Flash running around here with a white beater on.
He drunk as fuck, busting in like the Kool-Aid man, talking about he's gonna kill and bury people. Like, yeah, man, you got your movie coming out later on this year. He's probably gonna be in jail again by that time.
Yep.
So, I mean, they put all of his other stuff on hold. I won't be surprised if they push back his film release again.
Yeah, dude, because it's been postponed like 11 times since 2018.
Yeah, I think they even pushed his current movie back to maybe early 2023.
It's funny. I'm actually looking more forward to seeing the Flash movie than I am for seeing the Batman movie with Kristen Patterson or whatever his name is.
Patterson, Jesus Christ.
Bobby Sparkles.
Wait,
just because I want to see Michael Keaton as Batman again.
Okay. Wait. You didn't see the Batman at all, Blue?
I still haven't seen it, man. I'm waiting for it to come out on Netflix, or not Netflix. I'm waiting for it to come out on HBO Max. On I think it comes out April 16th.
Yeah, I think it's this month for sure.
I don't understand this celebrity thing where they fuck with like people with normal incomes. And it's just like, you are fucking rich as shit. Like, why do you care? Like, I'm not wealthy. I've been rich at a certain point in my life, and it was great. Like, I made a bunch of money, and it was like, yeah, this is cool. Like, a lot of things didn't matter to me anymore. But even now, it's just like a lot of things I'm like trying to let go because they don't directly affect me. And if they don't directly affect me, like I really don't give a shit. I'm trying to let go of more of that. But if I'm a fucking millionaire and if I'm in a fucking threesome or whatever and somebody slights me, I don't give a shit because I'm gonna go home and pick up some cognac that's been aged by like fucking 300 goddamn years, and I'm sipping that shit and smoking a blunt and watching something on my fucking IMAX. Like I don't really care. I'd laugh at the pores.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't laugh at him, but yeah.
I think you already put it out there, Cronus. When you're making that much money, you just said a lot of stuff you didn't care about anymore. And for people that are rich, the poors are people you don't care about anymore. But you can get drunk and run them over, and then like you could care less about their lives. You're like, you know what? I could kill you, and it won't matter because you're poor, and no one's gonna remember your name.
Let me rewind a little bit because what I just said was kind of fucked up. All right, I'm not saying that like don't care about poor people at all or people that make less than you. You should definitely help them. But if they slighted you at all, you're gonna go back to your life of luxury. So why would you give a fuck? I mean, like on how they slighted you. But if you can help them, definitely help them in whatever way you can. But yeah, just like why would you like? Okay, like you get to keep continuing to live your privileged life that hopefully you earned. So
you talk about not believing shit. I don't believe for a hot fucking second that Ezra was really getting slighted or something egregious was happening to him.
No, he's just being a dick.
I think he's drunk. A hothead. I think much like we talked about with Will Smith just flying off the fucking handle for almost no fucking reason, Ezra is like that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a reason. I'm pretty sure he was too drunk to get it up or something. And the couple was like, well, you know, it happens sometimes. We'll try again later. And he probably got mad and was like, fuck you. I'm going to fucking kill both of y'all. You better not tell paparazzi about this shit. And went off the handle.
You know what I think it is that I think Hawkgirl and the Justice League animated series had said that, like, yeah, the Flash, like, the reason why you don't have a girl is because you are the fastest man alive.
Oh, God damn.
He's a two-pump.
So listen, I mean,
that could have been it too.
All he had to do was like, hey, listen, because I think he was just crashing. From what I understand, he was like crashing at their place anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have just been like, okay, you know, whatever, I'll leave. If he's sad, just dial up Pete Davidson. Be like, hey, how you getting all this pussy, man? Like, how you getting all this? Like, just let me know the secret. Do I need to get shitty tattoos? Do I need to look coked up all the time? Is that the secret to getting like this Hollywood pussy? Because apparently that's like the thing now.
Yeah, paint your nails and shitty tattoos. Don't match. Wear stuff that doesn't match.
Funny motherfucker.
I mean, I'm not all that convinced that Ezra's necessarily into all that much pussy per se, but
I'm pretty sure because he uses non-binary terms, so I don't know if he came out as bi, but I'm pretty sure he's bi.
If you're bi, wouldn't you be binary?
I don't know.
That's like,
maybe he prefers.
That's the thing.
I don't know. Maybe he prefers the pronouns and he likes them. I don't know. No idea.
Yeah, I know he goes. I'm sorry. I know Ezra goes by they or something.
Mm-hmm.
But all I know is this: that is a wild, disturbed motherfucker, and the PR folks at Warner Brothers could not keep him from himself. You know what I mean? So y'all gonna have to do something, but you know goddamn well you can't have a movie. And this probably, if successful, you know, not getting ahead of myself, if the first one was successful, just given the size of the character of the Flash, of course you could spin that into a trilogy, or, you know, a whole series of movies and all that. If assuming success or whatever, and it could all be centered around you. You know, you could have almost like the Flashverse, you know, with you making cameos in other movies and all that other shit. But if you can't stay out of jail, then what the fuck?
Ah, fuck that. Grant Gustin was better anyway, so
he was.
Just saying,
he was.
I mean, they can always replace them with them.
Yeah,
I mean, Flashpoint does some fucked up shit.
And I mean, spoiler. I mean, I kind of spoiled this for Blue, but they meet.
Yeah,
Ezra's Flash and Grant Gustin's Flash, they meet on the CW Flash.
Yeah, that was pretty.
It was pretty awesome. It was a pretty awesome scene. The scene's like maybe 2.5 minutes, but it's pretty awesome.
God damn, Grant Gustin is like 10 years younger than me. That's fucking weird.
Damn.
Ezra Miller is like 13 years younger. Only 29.
Wow. Okay, he's this wild at 29.
He's wild in that 29.
I think it's like it's around 30 when like most people like kind of calm the fuck down. I think.
Yeah, you would think, but you know, well, especially when you have people around you literally getting paid to calm you down.
Yeah, it's like, you know take advantage, man. Take advantage.
I think he took advantage of too many drugs.
Yeah, the wrong drugs.
And alcohol. Yeah, the wrong ones and fucked up. Turned into Kool-Aid Man.
Take some indica. Calm the fuck down. Sleep on the couch. Sleep on the couch. You'll be all right.
That Hennessy don't help.
Oh, damn.
The Hennessy and cocaine.
Mixed with some Kool-Aid.
Percocet. Somebody needs to bring back. I thought they were bringing it back. They should bring back Celebrity Deathmatch because I like to see Will Smith and Ezra go at it.
Oh, I think it is back. I think it's on Paramount Plus.
Oh shit!
If I'm not mistaken,
I
heard they were bringing it back. They're also bringing back Beavis and Butthead. They're coming back to Paramount Plus as well. Whole new show.
Didn't it come back before, like a couple years back?
It did. Got canceled, and they're bringing it back again.
I feel like
quick turnaround.
The Beavis and Butthead thing.
Futurama's come around.
Beavis and Butthead was great, mostly because back in the like original first season or two, they were literally spoofing on a whole bunch of 90s and 80s metal and rock bands in their video. That was the best part about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's not a lot of like. This is the problem: is that they're trying to recapture something that was era specific.
Yes.
You know, like you can't like. I don't think Beavis and Butthead it works for our generation, but our generation is aging. First of all, you know, and second of all, like there's not a whole lot of like music videos that are like shitty like that because most music videos today, if you're gonna make them, first of all, they usually produce them pretty well.
Yep.
You know, so because they know that most people are probably not going to watch them if they're not well produced. So I think that that's like a huge miss with like Beavis and Butthead. Like they don't understand the point of what made it successful in the 90s. You know, it's like you couldn't make, for instance, you couldn't make a Rick and Morty and transport it, you know, into the 90s. Nobody, it wouldn't be funny at all. Like nobody would get it, and it'd be stupid. It'd get canceled after one season. But because of today's, you know, what people like today, it works today. But also, you probably couldn't make it 15 years from now or 30 years from now. You couldn't make another Rick and Morty because it would lack cultural significance, and I think that's what people don't understand. Yeah, people like that are older now. Oh, you know, things were better back in the day. They were, but it's also within context. There are still a lot of really good things out now. You just don't like it because you're older and you're still stuck on old shit. I'm the same way with music. Like I don't understand like a lot of like trap music and like this mumble rap. I don't fucking like it. But at the same time, this generation does. So I can't really shit on the whole genre as a whole when they're making money off of it. You know what I mean? And people, there's obviously an audience there. And I'm you know, and I still get some of the stuff that I like. Some of the, you know, some of the newer raps, like maybe 5% of it is decent, but they're not writing their music for me. They're writing it for people that are their age. So I shouldn't get it.
Mm-hmm. One of the things about comedy, 80-90% of it, it's all about fucking timing. Whether it's the timing of the fucking punchline or the timing of the fucking era and the zeitgeist and when you tell a joke and what you can get away with, what's edgy right now, and you know, 2022 was not edgy in 82 or vice versa. I get all of that. So there's definitely a time aspect to it. It is what it is. I don't think this is going to fucking work at the end of the day. I think Beavis and Butthead has kind of come and gone in a lot of ways. Hopefully I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I don't wish any ill will on the people trying to make it. But I remember they had a movie that didn't even do that well, and that was at the height of their fame.
Yeah, because it just, I mean, it's really immature comedy. I mean, it's a comedy about two, you know, like early teenage white kids living in poverty, making fun of like metal and rock videos. That's the premise of the show. How the fuck is that gonna pass today? Like what? Like that doesn't make sense. Like just imagine going in any studio and pitching that to anybody. They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And remember, it was on late night, like MTV to be a success. It was on that kind of like basically their version of Adult Swim, super late at night, and then it became popular.
Flex.
We're stoned up late, and they were like, let's watch this fucking cartoon, and the cartoon was like stoner funny.
Yeah.
With Beavis and Butthead, I remember the episode when they watched I think they watched Gin and Juice, Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice, and that right there, I was like, that was the funniest shit ever because they were like, oh yeah, I can smoke that Gin and Juice, like, and it was so fucking funny about them always trying to get laid and stuff like that. But it's interesting because Prodigy, you mentioned about like comedy and like, you know, era and stuff like that. I think a lot of comedians have like, I think they have an expiration date. Like, I think once you become famous, like, for example, like Chirs Rock, like, he's going back on tour doing stand-up, and it's like, you don't really have, like, you're wealthy. Like, what comedy things can you talk about that I'm going to relate to make me laugh? Like, yeah, you can talk about some political stuff here and there, but, like, back in the day when you were talking about, like, oh, yeah, I used to do this and this for drugs and blah, blah, like, that shit's, like, kind of more, not more relatable, but it's funnier to me. But, like, now you're rich and famous and stuff like that. So any story you're telling me is about how bougie your life is, and it's like, get the fuck out of here with that. I think a lot of comedians who are trying to make a comeback. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Chirs Rock's new stand up, and I think Eddie Murphy was talking about doing a stand up too, and I don't know where he is with that. And like, I will watch it just to watch it, but like, what can he really kind of talk about other than political and what's happening in the world?
I mean, there's a couple of things. So when it comes to like comedy and like how much money they make, so God damn it, what's the fuck? I don't want to say this term. The shorter guy. Forget his fucking name. No.
Oh, Cat Williams?
No. The popular one.
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart. Yes. Kevin Hart has not like really missed a step after he's made like all this money, and he's still selling out stadiums to this day, and he's still pretty funny. I mean, like, he's not his style of comedy isn't exactly like my go-to, but he's still funny, and he's still, you know, pulling down a lot of money, and he's still selling out stadiums. So I think there's a way you can do it. But I mean, you're right. There is definitely like there is a tightrope, I guess they have to like walk. I mean, because Jay-Z, like he still raps about fucking making millions and millions of dollars, and nobody seems to care. So I think that if he can do that, then comedians can still make jokes about possibly being rich or making fun of being rich, and still remembering like what it was like to like not be rich. But I haven't seen his special, so I don't know what his premises are. But I think there are a lot of successful comedians that have made a bunch of money that are still funny. Because I remember when I watched Eddie Murphy on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, just hearing him talk and his like normally, he was still funny as shit.
Yep.
I was like, he still got it. But I think one of the main reasons why he stopped doing comedy is, first of all, his comedy when he was in his heyday was incredibly offensive to like a lot of people that today would definitely not appreciate those kinds of jokes. And also he has kids, like a whole shitload of kids.
Yeah.
And like his kids could never like listen to like those sorts of jokes as they were growing up. And especially like if your kids are in school and you have like a super dirty comic dad, that's going to be fucking weird. So, I mean, those are my thoughts on that.
I'll say this.
He got on stage, Dad, and he said, fuck.
Yeah.
I
I agree with really where both of you are coming from. I'll only say this. I mean, one of the biggest comedians in the entire fucking universe, hell. And I mean, he's only gotten richer. He's only gotten more famous. I'm glad he came back. Obviously, he had a hiatus and whatnot. But to me, he's just as funny, if not funnier, than he was back in the day. And he's still, pulling no punches. He's still doing some really cutting edge shit. And I think it's he's proof that it's possible, even at an older age, to really bring it, especially on stage. And you can feel the energy even when you're not in the fucking theater. Like you're watching Netflix and you can feel the fact that, hey, this is funny as shit. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you're there, which is hard to do. A lot of Netflix specials or comedy that you're watching on TV, you feel like way distant from them, at least for me.
Hold on.
It's funny.
Real quick, I think Clay actually just made a really good point in the chat about Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead would be way better if they released music video reaction segments on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly, if there was a Beavis and Butthead React channel, that's how you relate this to like to this generation.
There you go.
It'd be fucking perfect.
So I don't think they're gonna be doing that. I think they're gonna. So according to Mike Judge, he put out a tweet that shows Beavis and Butthead as middle-aged men.
Oh, that's different.
So it looks like they're gonna be older. Yeah, and it shows Beavis as like kind of chubby version of he kind of looks like Anderson a little bit. He has the head. Yeah. Oh yeah, Hank Hill. Except instead of Hank Hill's head, it's Beavis's head or Butthead's head, and he's smoking. And then it shows like it looks like Butthead like might be some old teacher. He's wearing glasses or whatever. But apparently they're doing. So his quote is saying a brand new movie and more on Paramount Plus. No exact date, but he said it'll be soon. Everyone says 2020. He put out a couple of black and white sketches of older versions of them.
Wow.
So this looks. So if it applies to us and talking about middle age Beavis and Butthead, I think that might work even better than them going back to high school.
Maybe.
Because that applies to them growing up and talking and basically imagine older Beavis and Butthead. Imagine if they had kids.
That'd be fucking sad.
Yes, but if it does it, I mean, people would watch. I mean, I would watch.
That's interesting.
That's an interesting concept. It was funny, like when Beavis and Butthead was on, or maybe right after it ended, even though it had the similar animation to obviously King of the Hill and same creators and all of that, King of the Hill to me at the time felt like it.
I think your Beavis and Butthead came out before King of the Hill. Who's a character in Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, but I'm talking about
spin-off.
the King of the Hill.
Said the original.
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead came out way before King of the Hill.
Yeah.
King of the Hill was a character in Beavis and Butthead.
Okay. But I'm just saying in terms of comparing the show. Well, wait, hold on. How many years later was King of the Hill?
It was at least like 3-5 years.
3 or 5. Okay. Once King of the Hill dropped,
I couldn't quite get into it because I was like, this seems too mature by the standards of Beavis and Butthead. That's where I was going with it. It took me a long time to appreciate King of the Hill.
Well, it's because they actually modified the character of King of the Hill. So when I forget his fucking actual name in the show,
Hank Hill.
Hank Hill. Yeah. So when Hank Hill was originally in Beavis and Butthead, he was like this really shaky fucking guy. Get off my lawn, and you're gonna cut my lawn, and you didn't do it. I'm not gonna pay you. And it was like super like weird and shit like that. They matured him to like be a normal person for King of the Hill, and I think that worked as we got older. Because honestly, I like King of the Hill a little bit. Actually, not more, but I appreciated it at the time after it came out. But it was also like I think it was like 3 to 5 years after Beavis and Butthead had gotten canceled. So I'll have to look, but
the voice of Bobby is a woman. I'm not really surprised because Bart's voice of a woman, but like
Naruto.
That's my purse. Goku. Goku's voiced by a woman.
Anytime you have a young man character, for the most part animated, it's not always, but a lot of times it's a.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
yeah.
Wait, cause jump back to Dave Chappelle. So I watched a video with not Chris Rock, with Kevin Hart, where he talked about how he went up. They were at the Comedy Store, and they were testing out some of their new material. So Kevin Hart went up there. He did his little bit. Chris Rock was there too, and like they were comparing notes. Like Chris was like, "Hey, was it Chris or was it Aaron's? I don't know. Anyway, so like he goes up there, does his spill, comes down, and then Chris Rock goes up and does his, and they're like taking notes, kind of giving each other pointers. And Dave Chappelle shows up that night. He goes up there and kills it, and Chris Rock and Kevin Hart look at each other like, "Man, we're fucking shit." Like they just balled up their notes and just threw that shit away because Dave Chappelle came on the stage and fucking killed it. Like the guy is a comedian genius.
Sorry, I was partially incorrect about Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill. It's probably because I was in the Marine Corps, I think right around this, well, shortly after this time. But so Beavis and Butthead, the 7th season ended in November 28th, 1997, and King of the Hill started on January 12th, 1997.
Okay.
So
No overlap, yeah.
There was an overlap.
Yeah. But it took me a minute with King of the Hill because I was at that age where I was just like, I just want to see some dick and fart jokes from Beavis and Butthead, and it seemed way too mature. But then later on, I was like, oh, King of the Hill is funny as shit too.
Yeah,
it's just a type of comedy.
But it's probably because we aged.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally what it is. I'm pretty sure like around like 99, 2000, you were like, oh, I get it now because you're in your 20s.
No, it took even longer. It took
really?
until like 26, 27.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Same here. It took me a while to like it. It wasn't until it was like on Adult Swim on Nickelodeon or not Nickelodeon, fucking Cartoon Network, where I was like, this show is funny as fuck. Like that Indian dude is that kid's father.
John Redcorn.
No. Yeah.
Damn, that's ultimate cut status.
Yep. Fucking shit, man. Holy shit. All right.
Out there fucking colonizing her.
Damn.
Holy fuck. Okay, so
quick little thing. So I think I talked about this before. There was like a beef on Twitter about like some Indian dude like having sex with these white chicks, and the chick was all mad because he was sleeping with other girls, and she's like, I didn't consent to have a relationship with you if I knew you were with these other chicks and blah blah blah.
No, that works.
And
but all right.
the other people on TikTok was like, I think I've heard this story before. They just kept posting up pictures of John Redcorn. Like, I've seen this story before. They just show like John Redcorn. Like, this sounds so fucking familiar. It was just
bad.
I think I've read that thing, but it's just like it comes down. Like when I read the story, it's like unless you both said that you wanted to be in a monogamous relationship, like them's the breaks. So you have to be committed to each other. Unless you sat down and had a conversation about being committed to each other, then the other person can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, but she kind of fucked up his social medias because saying that she didn't consent, which is like, wait, you mean he forced you to have sex? But it's no, he didn't. Yeah, she didn't consent for them to have multiple partners. It's like you didn't say that.
Yeah, you got to be real careful with those words. Like,
yeah, I mean, like for real. I mean, I obviously I'm not married, but me and Kamek, we're committed. So, and you don't need to be married to be committed, but you need to definitely have a fucking conversation about it.
Yep.
You're not gonna fuck anybody else, right? Like, that's important. Use different words, obviously. Or use my same exact words. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, yeah, use the same words.
Make sure you clarify mouth fucking and ass fucking.
Oh, damn.
You have to also,
fucking.
when can we do ass to mouth? Is it never or sometimes or like what's going on here? It's your mouth and your ass, so whatever.
Yeah.
You also have to talk about what zip codes are counted into that too, because different area codes.
There are hoes in some of them.
Yeah.
Does country count?
What if it's unincorporated though?
Yeah, exactly. I was entirely.
What if I'm on a boat in the middle of the ocean?
International
water hose.
What if I'm in space and there's an alien chick and she's green?
Goddamn.
Damn.
It's quality material right there.
Here's something that I was laughing at, but it's like, it's almost not funny at this point. How many fucking final episodes are we gonna get from Attack on Titan? What the fuck?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, talk on that because like I saw you posted that. I think it was like 2 episodes were supposed to be at the finale.
I know I'm not tripping. Like when they first said, "Oh, the final season," I was like, "Oh, damn, okay, this is really important. I love this series. It's a great series." And then it ended, and they said, "Okay, there's a part 2." And I said, "No, okay." We all kind of talked about it on here. We're like, "Okay, there's a part 2." Dude, at the end of part 2, they said there's a part 3 now. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how many times y'all gonna play this movie? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, there's a couple points I want to make here. All right. Yeah, it's silly that it's the final season for the third fucking time. Literally the third fucking time. They said it's a final season. It's in different parts. I'm like, all right. But, you know what we get? More Attack on fucking Titan is what we get. So I cannot actually complain. I can't tell you how many fucking animes that I've watched that were not completed at all. That never got a fucking final season. They didn't get 2 final seasons or 3 final seasons or possibly 4 final seasons. I'm just saying. We get more Attack on Titan. The fact that the main character in Attack on Titan became the fucking villain of the fucking show is fantastic. I want to see how depraved he's going to get, and I want to see how they maybe are going to stop him. Maybe they don't, because not all animes end with a happy ending. So
no, they don't.
I want to see the final. I want to see whatever story they want to, finish telling. So, I mean, it is annoying, but at the same time, this is the best kind of annoyance that I could have.
Yeah.
We get more content, no doubt about it. It's just weird, I guess, from a PR standpoint, how they're doing it. Because if you told me right up front, hey, there's going to be 3 parts to this season or 3 final seasons, I'd be like, okay, even but they surprise you with it.
Yeah, and when the final episode of the final season, there's a final season.
we kind of did something similar with the podcast here because like I think we're approaching on like episode 100, but like we had like episode 100.1, like 1.2, and like
I forgot we did that shit.
We did. We were dicks about that shit.
We sure did do that shit.
We wanted to make it special. All we just did was make more of the same number. So
yeah.
That was good shit, man.
I'm gonna look it up and see which. I'm pretty sure it was 100, and now we're on episode. This is 350 fucking 9. So
God damn.
Was it 100 or 200?
I'm pretty sure it was 100 because we thought we were special. You know what's funny is that we have almost 500 tracks.
Holy shit!
Almost 5. We have 498 tracks on SoundCloud.
That's more than E40 and Too Short. I love it.
Yeah. Right?
Should we talk? He's not here, but we gotta talk about his girl, Stitch's girl, Hope Solo.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, y'all hear about this?
Roast beef hoe?
Yeah, the Batwing.
I'm not gonna make fun of that, but yeah.
Oh man,
they're coming off shapes and sizes.
So if you don't know who Hope Solo is, she's U.S. women's soccer's goalkeeper, famous goalkeeper for the U.S. team. Won several gold medals.
Wait, I thought this isn't Han Solo's daughter.
No,
it's like I thought we were going into some Star Wars shit. No, I'm fucking around.
I'll go into some Star Wars.
I know who she is.
But Hope Solo was apparently drunk and passed out in a business section of North Carolina with her kids in the car.
God damn.
She had 2 kids in the car, passed out from being drunk, gets arrested. So she's facing where is it right here? She's facing charges of misdemeanor child abuse, resisting arrest, and impaired driving. So she got a DWI. for those of you on west of the Mississippi that don't live in Texas or whatnot, it's driving while intoxicated versus I think the West Coast is driving under the influence. So I think Washington, Oregon, and California use DUI.
So I was wondering about that. Like, how come it's called a DWI in one area and like DUI in others?
Yeah, DUI, driving under the influence. DWI, driving while intoxicated. So she's being charged with multiple charges. She was, I guess, let out. I guess she was able to get her kids because they were talking about putting her kids in. Yeah, she was able to get her kids back.
She drove them home.
Are you?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, but still, y'all heard about this or not?
I heard about this shit. I mean, and here's the other thing too. It should be a bigger story. Obviously, we're talking about, which is good, but this woman's a maniac. She's had. I mean, Old Ninja didn't go into it all that much, but like she's had a long history of some wild shit. Like,
yeah, because I focused on what she did currently versus what she did in the past.
Yeah, but she's a violent mess. This is not her first fucking rodeo being arrested. The saddest thing to me, though, is, I mean, obviously adults are adults and some people are going to make mistakes. I get all that. But once you start involving your kids in terms of endangerment with them, then you got to miss me with any excuses for this woman. Like, she's a piece of shit. Fuck her. Those kids' lives were in danger based on her being under the influence and having them in the car. Like, if you're going to be, drunk or whatever, get to wherever you're going to be and drink your booze or whatever. Or take an
Uber.
Yeah,
take it with the kids.
But the kids got nothing to fucking do with it. So that's where I get fucking angry with her the most. But go ahead. Someone else jump in.
So, Prodigy, I guess not most famous, but her before this incident, there's an incident in 2014 where she was drunk again, got into a fight with her sister and her sister's boyfriend / fiance, where she attacked him. She got drunk and beat both of them up. So she got arrested, even though the charges got dropped 4 years later. She was still arrested on those charges. So, I mean, yeah, she's just been in and out doing some Kool-Aid Man shit. But this one, putting her own kids in a potentially dangerous situation is very unsettling to me.
You know what she should do? She should get into MMA. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah?
What she should do.
Sure.
We'll bash for a living.
There you go.
But she's beating up dudes and chicks and putting kids in danger. One of those didn't belong in there, but I'm just, it's kind of funny.
In that order?
Yeah. Not that many people do that, but yeah.
You should have put that not necessarily in that
It's
order.
not in that order. Something here is not like the other. Something here is not the same, but yeah, she definitely loves kicking ass. And I guess her spouse is Jeremy Stevens.
Who's Jeremy Stevens? Who the fuck is that?
He's
her
football
husband.
tight end.
Yeah, he's her husband. Because her legal name is Hope Amelia Stevens, but she goes by Hope Solo, which is technically her stage name or front
like a porn name.
Her husband's a big dude.
Yeah.
She ain't whooping his ass. I'm just saying. He's 6'7". So,
hey, he's putting the rock bottom on her ass.
He's a tight
Look
end.
at Jada Will Smith. Look at Jada Will Smith. I mean, she's like 5'1". He's like 6'2".
Yeah,
like,
but Hope Solo
kick that all the time.
Hope Solo is big for a woman, but Jeremy Stevens is big for a dude. So
yep.
Yeah, she's like 5'9" and he's 6'7". So
Damn, she's 5'9". Damn.
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah, pretty tall.
She can throw down, but yeah, man, the fucking kids, man, that's the part that gets me. I'm like, god damn.
Yeah. Little fun fact: if you have a DUI, you can't go to Canada.
Yes,
Yeah.
You have to have special kind of permission to be able to get in Canada if you have a DUI.
Yeah,
you're
a criminal in their eyes, and they don't want your drunk ass there.
okay.
Yeah, I found that out from someone that I know had that issue. They couldn't get in because they had a pending DUI.
Yeah, like literally, you can fly into Canada and they'll check your background and be like, you can't come here.
You'll
like,
be detained at the airport. Well, you'll be detained at the airport until you figure out.
I feel like, I just wanted to walk around. I didn't want to drive. I just want to walk. Fuck, man.
I don't break a car or anything.
It seemed very arbitrary. Just be like, hey, listen, in Canada, you need to have a Canadian license to drive. Open and shut case, Johnson. I'm saying. When I went to Qatar, I had to get a Qatari license. It wasn't a big deal. Just I did a fucking shitty driver's test, and yeah.
You didn't get an international license? Because I got one when I went to Japan.
No, because usually
like you go to AAA and you fill out some paperwork and you get like an international license. Like you can drive anywhere.
Well, I didn't. So when I got the job in Qatar, I didn't realize that in Qatar you needed a Qatari license. Came a whole big thing, and I realized that I had to like get to other places in Qatar to like do shit, and so I had to get a Qatari license. So it's like kind of under the table. I had to like pay somebody extra money to like get my spot on a driver's test, and it was like a manual transmission car, which is fine because I know how to drive a manual, but it was interesting to do like a manual transmission test on like a track. They have like in America, there's like when you go get your driver's license. Sorry, small segue. You don't go on like a track. You like just drive in the streets, which is so fucking weird now that I think about it. Like, why would you have somebody that's learning how to drive show you their driving technique with other people that know how to drive and you maybe not know how to drive? Like, it seems like a fucking recipe for disaster, but it's also history of America. Just saying. In Qatar, they have like an actual track. I'm like, hey, you do these certain things in these certain spots, and if you can pass these things, then you can drive in the general public. Not, hey, let's go to the general public if you know how to drive or not, and hopefully you don't crash and die and kill somebody else.
Yeah.
When you say track, I'm thinking like Daytona. Like,
no, it's like it's a small version of that.
Laguna Seca, like, come on, man, you gotta hit that hairpin, you gotta hit that apex.
Dude, that puts your skills to the test.
No, it's one of those things that like in America, I think a lot of people in America take things for like as normal. It's like, think about this. In America, when you go to the grocery store and you buy all your groceries, and you go to the register and you're looking at how much it costs, you have no idea how much it costs. You can look at all the prices and everything that it says. It costs $5 for this, $3 for that, $10 for this, and then you go to the fucking to checkout, and all of a sudden there's extra taxes like on it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any fucking like logically? Does that make any fucking sense?
No.
Yeah,
it is not like that in other countries. Like no. you go and look at the fucking price of shit and you pay for it for that price of shit. And in America, we just accept it. Oh, there's going to be an extra charge, a nice surprise at the end that you're going to get, and we just accept it. It's what the fuck is going on here?
But sales tax is only around, I mean, it's in most states, but it's not in every state.
It's not in every state, but it's in most states.
Yeah.
You know, it's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But even when you do your taxes, they'd be like, oh, hey, did you buy anything outside of your state? Like,
yeah.
No, I did not.
Dude, the weirdest experience I had was back in 2002. I actually went to France, and I didn't realize, again, stupid American, that the green cross was the symbol for a pharmacy. I guess it's an international symbol.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a billion pharmacies, CVS, Walgreens, or whatever. I've never seen a fucking green cross anywhere around here, but that's okay. I figured that out. I go in there because I wanted to buy some fucking toothpaste. Do you know they started asking me oral hygiene fucking questions like I was at a dentist's office, just at the regular ass fucking pharmacy? Oh, let's examine you. I was like, look, I'm not trying to learn anything about, cavities or anything like that. I just want toothpaste and some floss. That's fucking it. But that was normal over there. It was the weirdest shit ever.
Well, you know what's weird about that is that the reason why it's weird is because it's somebody random showing you actual fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, do you give a shit about your teeth? They could fall out, you stupid fuck.
Yeah.
But the American view of things like that is just like, why do you want to know if I know how to brush my teeth?
Dude, it was and I was like 22 years old or whatever, and weirded out and also super defensive about it. Like, why the fuck are you asking me these questions?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
what scheme are you
into a
pulling?
7-Eleven and getting like deodorant or just some normal hygiene fucking items, and people start asking you questions like you're at a medical office. You'd be like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah, you violate my HIPAA law.
HIPAA law.
But then also like in like Asian culture too. Like when you go into a place, they're like they greet you. We're like, you know,
Kampai.
You go to like somewhere or whatever, and they'll be like, "What the fuck you want?" Basically, you go to Starbucks. There's nobody saying like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, what can I get you? Until you're ordering your thing. But when you walk into like a sushi place, they're like, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome." Blah blah blah. When you leave, they're like, "See you later. Have a good time." Hope
Blue, I said the wrong word. What is the word they say when you enter a sushi bar? It's not kampai. That's when you fucking do the drinks thing.
Oh, that's when you do your drink. They say, "Yamase." They say, "Welcome."
No, but what do they say it in Japanese? I understand it's welcome. Goddamn.
Shit. It's shit.
There's a special word for it now. Blue's
I just said it. It's in my mind.
Sometimes they say Ohio gozaimasu or konbanwa, depending on the time of day.
They don't say that. They don't say that. They say like Yamase or something like that. I'm getting mixed up with Korean with like the way you answer.
Yeah,
the phone.
I'm all used to Yabaseo.
Oh God, what did they say?
They say interspecies reviewers.
This guy. So hold up. Am I missing something? Prodigy, you can speak French or nah?
No, I mean I knew enough words to be dangerous, but of course my other thing that I found out was exit is not a universal word. They call it something different in France.
Exit?
Yeah, exit. Like I was looking for the actual word exit in the subway. I fucking got lost in that metro like a motherfucker because I didn't see exit anywhere. And then I was like, oh, let me look up the fucking word for exit in French. Figure that shit out. Sortie or something like that.
Oh, they say
Irashimase.
Yeah, Irashimase. That's what it is. Yeah. Irashimase.
Yeah, it's funny. Like what Prodigy was saying. Like if you don't know certain words, like when because you think, especially as a young American, like there's like universal things, but it's really not. You know what I mean? And like you might think, I could. So this is funny. So when Prodigy was talking about his trip to France, I think he went alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is brave as fuck. Just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to fucking France.
You could have been taking it,
dude. You know what it was? I saw a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. It was what was The Beach?
Oh, The Beach, yeah.
It never occurred to me in my fucking life that you could travel alone. And I was like, I can do this shit.
Yeah.
And it was right after 9/11. Everything was dirt cheap. I fucking got a flight round trip for under $200. And
you got them freedom fries?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the same was around COVID. Mm-hmm. COVID, you could fly dirt cheap. You could I got a hotel in Reno for four nights for $300.
Yep.
It's crazy that you've been to the whole like thing in France because like I think I talked about this before on the podcast. Like when I went to Japan, like the way their bus system work is that you enter from the rear and you get off from the front, and you don't pay until you get off. Like the bus knows where in fucking time and space it is. So like when you get on the bus, you get like a number, and so whatever that number is, it represents like what stop you got on at. So when you get off the bus, you show that bus driver that number, and that's how much you pay. You don't pay just one fare. You pay it's almost like a toll. Like depending on how far you went, you pay more and more. And that's how it works in Japan. Like when I first got on the bus, I was like, wait, what? Like it's not just 50 cents. I just can't pay 50 cents. No, it was like $2.30 just because I went further than I originally expected. But like the same thing works for the train system too. I mean, it kind of works like the train system here. Like the further you go on the stop, you pay more. But like when you get on the train, you get on in the rear and you exit from the front. At least not the bigger train station, but like the smaller ones. That's how that works. And it's like, yo, man, like I didn't know that. Like I'm all trying to get out from the back, and the train just keeps on going past my stop because I was supposed to exit from the front.
All right.
But yeah,
I'm gonna go off on a little bit of bullshit right now. Okay, especially in America. Look, if I'm paying a lot of money in taxes, I should not be paying for toll roads. I should not be paying for fucking buses. I should not be paying for fucking public transit. I should not be paying for a whole bunch of fucking things. I pay, and most people pay, a shitload in taxes. But for some reason, it's supposed to be public transit for the public, which means that it's paid for by public money. I have to pay extra to use it. It's fucking bullshit, and I can't fucking stand it. Like, honestly, BART in the Bay Area, it should be fucking free. All right? Especially given that when we have, like, toll roads and other, like, we have toll roads in the Bay Area and, like, registration. They say that a portion of these things go towards BART, specifically BART. and actual measures on my taxes that go towards improving BART. Why the fuck am I paying to get on BART when it's already taken on my goddamn paycheck?
Yep. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, from a logical perspective, miss me with all your other fucking bullshit. I'm already paying for it when I don't use it. And I have to pay extra when I do use it.
I'm with you. I will also say this. BART's incredibly expensive when compared to like the New York subway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is, I think, subsidized, I think federally even a little bit more than BART. But yeah, it is what it is. I got a toll road right by me. 125, and it's like, hey,
it should be a toll road. It's on the ballot. I already looked up. It's on the ballot to like take it off being a toll road.
Yeah, I'd like that because it doesn't make any sense, but it is a convenient ass road.
It's funny to me because if you're where I think you are, that's like the only way in. And if you want to come in, you got to go all the way fucking around like a 30-minute drive just to like try to circumvent that shit.
It's not 30. It's maybe 805 is maybe 5-6 miles away. But yeah,
that's still time. That's time, money, gas.
Well,
circumvent toll.
Kind of jump back to Japan. Like the first time I went on a toll road within Japan, because their freeway is that like to get on the freeway you have to pay to get on the freeway. But that driving on that freeway was like driving on fucking glass. There was no fucking potholes. The road was smooth as hell. It looked brand fucking spanking new. Like, and these roads they've been around. They take care of it. There's no trash on the side of the road. Like there's no like vines and weeds growing up on the walls or anything. Like this road was like it was like driving on a fucking race car track. Like that's how fucking pristine these roads were. And like I would say every 10 miles you have to pay another toll or something like that. But like if the roads were kept up as well as they were, like you probably end up saving money by having the roads be that well because your suspension and car damage and stuff.
So yes and no. So this is the problem in America with toll roads, is that in America traditionally toll roads are for a reason. Okay, the toll roads were made. It was to make a special road to get to somewhere. And the toll was to pay for the road to be built.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was for. And same thing with a bridge. You had a bridge toll was to pay for the fucking bridge to be made. All right? That's what originally tolls are for. It wasn't for any other extra bullshit. It was just to pay for the actual thing that you're using. And after it was paid for, it would go away. The toll is supposed to go away. I've literally only seen a single toll road go away in my entire fucking life, and it was in Oceanside, California. When I was in the Marine Corps, I saw a toll road go away because they paid. It was for a bridge. It was a toll bridge, and it was like a small toll bridge, and it went away. But now they're just like they're revenue streams, but they should not be revenue streams because we already paid for them, and taxes pay for them.
I have not been down here long enough to know this history, but when I go into Coronado, they don't have a toll bridge anymore, but they definitely have the stations and infrastructure. Yeah, so I don't. It looks like I'd have to look it up to be sure, but it looks like that used to be one as well.
They did. So they used to have. It was first of all, it was to pay for the bridge, and then it was to pay for the fucking the robot. Well, it's not a really robot. It's a machine that moves the divider over. That was the other part of the toll. So on the Coronado Bridge, there's like this fucking crazy ass like machine that moves over the divider.
Bridge. Oh,
depending on what time of the day that you're there. I don't know if it's still like that, but there's definitely, if you look at, like, you ever notice the segmented like divider?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you look at where the toll looks like it's where it's supposed to be, there is like a vehicle there, and at certain times of the day will move the actual thing over. Same thing on the 5. This 5 has the same thing. But it's only on the toll part where it moves over the divider to like make more room for whichever more direction the rush hour is. So
they do that for the Golden Gate Bridge here. They have the machine that moves the center divider to make more available lanes. On traffic.
Blue, I gotta ask this though. So if you was on those like Japanese buses, did you ever actually see little girls with the skirt and the guys crowd around her, and then all
that's super bad.
Bound chicka wow wow starts happening. Did you see it?
No, I didn't. Thank God. But they're both the buses and the trains. There's schoolgirls all like like that that was their main presentation for a lot of these students. But like, yeah, it was weird.
Can we
There's I want to tell, but I can't tell you.
Yeah, can we nerd out for the next like little bit? I want to hear more about this Tiny Tina stuff from whoever's playing it. Who's playing this?
I'm the only one because apparently y'all aren't fucking nerdy enough.
Oh god damn! Okay,
this is like one of the nerdy. It's literally Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is to me the second best Borderlands game, and it's really close to Borderlands 2. Mainly because of the gunplay experience they took basically from Borderlands 3, which is excellent, especially with the sliding mechanic and a couple other mechanics they have in there, and the general gunplay. But the story from Borderlands 2 and a couple other things from Borderlands 2 was better. But this game continues that sort of experience, and it's a really fun game. Like, if you love D&D. And you love RPGs, this is right up your alley because it's fucking magic with guns, literally magic with guns. So I've had so much fun playing this game, especially with like breaking the fourth wall. So in this game, it makes it acceptable to break the fourth wall from the first fucking scene because you're literally a player playing with Tiny Tina and two of her friends, and they're already breaking the fourth wall by talking to you directly. And then, hey, we're gonna play, Bunkers and Badasses. It's not called D&D. It's Bunkers and Badasses. B&B, whatever. And then you jump into like the game, and there's times where like Tiny Tina's like trying to tell her she's a dungeon master of like telling the story like where she just makes shit up, and then she'll just magically appear in the game for you. And it's like it's hilarious. So the RPG elements that they're putting in here, that we're not used to from the other games. It's like you have specific clothing that gives you buffs in the games, and like ups your skills sort of in general, like depending on like what your skills are going to be in the game. And they add in rings, and they have like even their guns like are like kind of like interesting because some of them are like you're shooting arrows or bolts. And if you have like, remember like Torg weapons from like Borderlands 3 and all the
ones that blow up?
Yeah. Ones that blow up.
Dude,
it's like literally
weapons are so good.
the Torg weapons in this, they're not called Torg, they're called something with a T, but it's not Torg specifically. But they're hilarious because I had this one gun, I used that shit fucking forever. But basically it was like a mini crossbow that I would shoot, and when you shot it was cryo damage and explosion damage. And when you looked at, I didn't understand this when I shot him, but I shot it when I was close to it. But it literally shot out a bolt, and with the bolt, there was fucking dynamite strapped to the bolt, and that's what would explode. And I was just like, dude, this is so attention to detail. Man. Yeah, it was like so hilarious. It was like a bundle of dynamite attached to a bolt, and you have magic instead of grenades. So that's one of the main things. So like. In traditional Borderlands, you would get, grenade modifiers, but in this game, you get actual magic. And so whatever magic that you get is actually really... just like in Borderlands with grenades, there's definitely magic types that you're going to like more or don't like more. So for me, because I picked like a Graveborn, and so like that class, where if I killed somebody... like a little like Hydra thing would pop up and then like be my little like turret. And then I also had like this crazy fucking like sort of like a drone over my shoulder at all times that just killed shit. And so the more things that I killed in a session, the more like these little fucking Hydras would pop up. And they did like a lot of damage. Like honestly, I could kill like 3 things and like 10 other things would die without me shooting a fucking bullet. And it was awesome. And you can dual class. So there's like, I think there's 5 classes in the game. And so I did a Graveborn with a spell shot. And I think it made me like a dead shot is what the class was called. And basically I was basically like a glass cannon, but because I was Graveborn, I had extra perks for dark damage. So when I did like dark magic damage, I would get life back. Oh, and so, yeah, and I had like my first like it's still my first playthrough, but after you pass the game, you can respec your second class. And so I thought I kind of fucked up because when I got my second class, there's like literally a glass cannon perk for the spell shot. And so basically none of my shields, they called wars in this game, my shields would not auto regenerate. And so I was like, well, fuck. Like after I got it, like you can't respec at the time. I was like, well, how do I like really get around this? But then I found a fucking sword that where because you can change out your melee attack with like different weapons. And so I found a sword where if I like melee them enough, or if I melee them at all, it would give me my fucking shield back. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just use this. Like, this is my workaround. I just fucking beat the shit out of people to get my shield back, and I'll be fine. And they went like really out of their way to like kind of like just like Borderlands always does, to like make things like really even and like play it the way you want to play it. So I'm pretty sure like Prodigy would not play this game anywhere near the way I play it. They have a class called the Berserker, which is probably like for Prodigy. He has a giant hammer. You can throw it like fucking Thor and bring it back like Thor and just fuck shit up. So, and there's the Spore Warden. There's the Stabromancer. There's a whole bunch of like other classes that you can use, and you can have a second class, so you can like just mix the way you want to play. So yeah, this is definitely like the second best, as far as I'm concerned, the second best Borderlands game ever. It's better than 3.
Damn.
No. 3 was really. I do remember that one quite well.
Yeah. Right on. So I'm gonna nerd out myself here. So I picked up. Actually, it's right here. I picked up this here. You can't see. This is the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker edition or Skywalker Saga. So this is all 9 games, all in one freaking game, and it's been kind of crazy because like this has been way different than the previous Lego games that I played, because this is like, it's like kind of sort of like wannabe open world, but it's not. But like the way it kind of does the wannabe open world stuff is like each world that you visit is a hub, and each hub has its own like missions, its own like kind of its own story, sort of. But like you can get characters and vehicles, and like instead of the gold bricks, they call them Kyber bricks. So you get the Kyber bricks to level up, and so they have a leveling system. Like no other Lego game that I know of has a leveling system. You can level up your core abilities, and then you can level up classes. So they added classes to this as well, so you can level up core abilities, level up your classes, and then just like you can level up, like they have like a melee counter. So when you're fighting and doing melee stuff, the more melees that you mix up in your counter, when you hit to the top of the meter, you'll get extra studs. So if you keep doing it, you just keep getting more studs, and as long as you don't break your combo, you'll get like basically more money to buy more shit. So far, because I started with episode 1, because you can start with any part of any trilogy you want, but you have to play the first story of each of that trilogy to keep going. So for instance, you could start with the original trilogy, but you have to start with A New Hope, or you can play the sequel trilogy, but you have to start with Force Awakens. You can't like jump through anyone at any time. You have to start with one episode, which unlocks the next and whatnot. So
there's 2 blues now.
Yeah, there's 2 blues. It was kind of weird. There's also like space battle area or space area.
Cool.
Dang. Yeah, it's crazy because there's like space areas, so you can hyperspace jump to either directly to the planet or to the space area above it, and they'll be like you can end up randomly in a space battle, or there could be bounty hunters in space that'll try to take you down. You can take them out. What's up?
I got a quick question though. So is it one big new game, or is it a collection of older Lego Star Wars games all in one? I'm confused.
It's one big new game.
Oh, okay.
So because like in the previous games, you would go like story to story, but you wouldn't have a hub really. This one, like, so for instance, Coruscant, the big city planet. when you go to Coruscant, you can travel to the Senate building. You can travel to Palpatine's office. You can travel to the Jedi Temple. You can travel to Padme's apartment. Each one of those areas have missions in them that are not pertain to the story. They're like side missions.
Is there a solo? Is there a mission for Hope Solo?
Damn.
How to not get a DUI while driving?
No, that's where you kill the Padawans, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's in a starship accident.
Yeah, in a speeder or something.
Hope Solo killed the Padawans, not Skywalker.
Yeah, yeah. There's like, it's kind of crazy because I feel like this game has tried to recreate the magic of the movies, and they did a pretty fucking good job. I mean, yes, this is more humorous, but they kind of toned down the humor from the previous Lego Star Wars game and focused way more on the story. This is a huge freaking game. Like, each planet, I haven't even unlocked all the planets. I'm on episode 4 right now because I started with episode 1 and just played through that point. But there's so many, like, it's crazy because they have like these people on the streets and they have like this little icon where you can talk to them. If you talk to them, they may either just give you random, like, you know, funny quip, or they give you what's called a rumor, which is a side mission. So a rumor, you investigate, and then you go and you do whatever is required, then you unlock something. One of them that I did one side mission, it had a mini boss. I had to fight a boss trying to get to what I wanted to because this chick double crossed me. I was like, what the fuck? And then I was Padme, so I had to shoot this chick in the face to get what I needed, but it worked out. And I had help. It's weird because it's a 2-player game, but it doesn't feel like a 2-player game. Like, there's always somebody with you, but I've been playing solo, and I was just like, dude, this is crazy.
The other player is an NPC, or the other?
Yeah, the other player is an NPC, and let you have another controller, then someone can play with you. I don't know if it does that whole weird split screen like it used to, where the screen would adjust.
It's not weird
like it did.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever played the
far away from each other.
The shitty split.
Yeah,
screen.
but it would split, but the split would rotate depending on how close you were together.
Yeah.
So like if I played Lego Avengers, so the farther away you were, it would turn into a horizontal split. The closer you got, the split would kind of go vertical and then like wipe away. If you get closer, it's super weird.
That's better.
Also, where you are on the screen, so if you like went up and down, like the split would be in the middle.
Yeah, it was split that way too.
Yeah.
It was split half. Like, it was split vertical if you went up and if you were going up and down.
That's not the shitty one. Is the one where there is no real split screen, where you have to be on the same screen, and if you're not, like teleports you.
The even worse is when like the person goes off screen. They're just off screen. You just see like a little fucking like
their icon
image that pop up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they basically you get your own. Well, at least in the previous or the past generation Lego, if you got farther away, you would get part of the screen, and depending on how far away you were from player one, the screen would change.
I mean, according to Prodigy, like nobody wants that anymore, any split screen at all. So.
Yeah. Well, nobody plays Prodigy's game, so
yeah.
I miss playing Lego. The Lego franchise, those games this is good fun.
Yeah, some of these, like, there's puzzles, there's secrets. It's weird that you get to level up your character. Like, you can level up your classes, and it's like super weird. And I'm like, dude, when normally you would just go for unlocking characters. Now you want to unlock the character as well as unlock abilities with that character. So I'm like, this is a huge game. There's so much shit to do in this game. It's been a lot of fun. If you're a Star Wars fan, I highly recommend this game. It's thoroughly enjoying. It's pretty fun, especially if you're a Clone Wars fan. They use the voice actors from the Clone Wars to voice the characters from the prequels, at least, and they do a pretty good job with Luke. They have decent voice actors, so I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I like to see Lego make a Lethal Shoot Larry game. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
That's like a little Lego brick.
A Lego dick.
Or even a GTA game.
Little Lego tits.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lego titties.
Little 1-bit nipple.
Yeah, just the little circle thing. Her nipples say Lego.
They need to make some more even. Did they stop making the Lego movies?
Yeah, it's been a while. Well, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure they haven't.
Yeah. So
they had the Batman one. I guess they had like 3 Lego movies.
As far as the big movies, yeah, but there's a bunch of Star Wars Lego stuff on Disney Plus. Like they had a holiday special. What was it, last year or 2020? They had a huge like special, and they had one with there's another one with this like family. They have like a bunch of Lego like
TV series.
Yeah, they're like series because they're like 30, 40 minutes or whatever. I think one's like an hour. I think the holiday special is 45 minutes.
I think there's like a Spider-Man one as well. Like broken.
There's Marvel
something, yeah.
Yeah, there's Marvel ones too, but they're not movie length.
Yeah, they're not blockbuster movie length because I think Lego Batman, not even Lego Batman. I think Lego 2, I think won a couple of awards just for being kind of innovative for what they did at the time.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Those movies were pretty solid, man. To me, the Batman Lego movie and just regular Lego movie.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this Lego Star Wars stuff because it's oh man, even the jokes are kind of tongue in cheek. Like the whole Anakin when he talks about how he hated sand, he doesn't say it, but everyone kind of makes fun of him for kind of saying it. It's pretty funny. Like I had to say Padme, and Padme's like, "Hey, do I have to be kidnapped by Tusken Raiders for someone to come rescue me?" I was like, "Damn, that's fucked up."
Well, it's interesting because like in the earlier Lego games, like there was no dialogue. Like it was just
there's grunting
figures doing such. And I want to say Indiana Jones was the first one to actually have dialogue, or it could have been another one. But like, yeah, like it's
so check the
times.
So you can turn on mumble mode. You can go old school and turn on mumble mode. You need to collect enough coins and like kyber crystals or whatever, but you can turn on a mumble mode.
I like you have to unlock it. Like, why would you want to unlock a shittier version? But anyway,
it's awesome.
Actually, it's
pretty good.
Oh wait, no. This is so I looked up I looked up first Lego game with voice acting, and like it's probably better for me to try to show you, but like it literally shows. It says Lego Batman 2 DC superhero, but then like it shows like Star Wars.
Oh, I have that. I got that game for free. But yeah, that one is fully voiced, and it's pretty cool because they play the '89 Batman theme when you're Batman, and it plays the '70s Superman theme when you're Superman.
Nice. Yeah, but like the fact that it says Batman, but it's showing Star Wars. It's like
that's awesome.
Hell,
someone fucked up. Fired.
Big time fucked up. Oh, good shit. What do you?
Go ahead, Prodigy.
I was saying, what are you playing, Blue?
Right now, I am all about that West Side with Horizon Forbidden West.
Mm-hmm. Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West.
Is that what it's called?
Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West.
It literally
just Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, if you look at the screen, it literally says Horizon, and then there's the Roman numeral 2. Then it says Forbidden West on the title screen. I was
the
like,
box says Horizon
Forbidden West.
Unless
he's looking at the box now.
But I am. Blue is right.
Well, both of you are looking at it. Yeah. There you go. That's pretty awesome.
We both got the PS4 version. We got the PS5.
I mean, the important part is at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all can see that. But yeah, I've been playing that to I don't know why. Like it's so much fun playing like the side missions, just exploring, just checking out fucking different dinosaurs here and there. But like I've come across a few YouTube channels where they talk about like glitches in the game, and there's like a cave somewhere in the game where like you basically end up in the upside down if you go into this cave. But like if you've unlocked the ability to ride a one of the flying machines, that you're able to just kind of fly around in that upside down world. It's not the upside down world. You're basically outside of the map and you're just underneath it looking up from the ground.
That's the worst thing to happen. I've had it happen to me numerous times just walking down steps. It's always in the same spot and I fall forever. It's so annoying.
Dude, in the Spider-Man game, in Miles Morales, that was like I think it wasn't even Miles Morales. It was the Spider-Man game for the PS5. Like that one had glitches where like you'll be swinging and you'll swing into a fucking building, and all of a sudden you're in the upside down. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, where do I go from here? I guess I just gotta fall and die.
You just gotta die. Yeah, you just gotta die or
like,
reset.
there's been a lot of like patches coming out where they nerfed a bunch of like some of the legendary weapons because they were like one fucking arrow was doing like $9,000, $9,000 point fucking damage, like taking out fucking T-Rexes and shit.
There was a bow that I got that was like fucking kind of OP. So yeah,
and on top of it, the perk also refilled your ammo if you hit a critical hit. So if you hit the critical hit, 2 shots would kill like pretty much anything, and your ammo would refill. So they nerfed it. So I was like,
yeah, but overall, like this game it's just fun to play. Like it's a good time killer. Like going around farming for like this and that. There's a point where I actually ran out of fucking shards just because. Damn. I don't even know how I ran out of shards. Just because I'm not even sure if it's from me just like using my arrows so many fucking times, like take out like machines or whatever, or it was just like I just bought some dumb shit where I shouldn't have bought in the first place. Like, like you really shouldn't be buying weapons because like you kind of inherit those throughout the game. But like, because I've been playing all the side missions, I haven't really came across any like rare equipment, so I've pretty much been picking them up from like retailers. Ooh. But it's easy to get shards though. Like you just sell fucking junk and you get your shards back.
Oh, trust me, there are some missions where you'll get some weapons, and usually those missions are like 3 or 4 part missions.
Yeah.
And some of them are timed. There are missions that are timed. So
but
you have to wait for a certain part for them to be ready. So
one thing I hate about games is when like you have to make a decision about something, because like the one with you have to choose sides between the girl and the guy. I can think of what the tribe was called. Like I hate stuff like that. Even though I play like the Batman Telltale games, like that game would stress me the fuck out. Like every time I made a decision, I questioned my decision. I was like, fuck. Like, how is this game going to impact my life just because I chose the wrong fucking thing? Like, I had to play Batman Telltale games a couple of times just to see where the other. If I'd have said yes to this one thing, where it led me. And I hate when games do that, but it's also kind of fun that they do that. It just makes it more kind of creative, basically. But I can just go on YouTube now and just see what would have happened if I'd have chose the other person.
That's true too. Actually, you don't even need YouTube. Just there's articles that list it too. You just read what happens and.
No, I'd rather watch and see what the fuck's going on.
So you're only faced with that. I think maybe 3 times, maybe at most 3 times. So, but they do impact the story one way or another. There's some stuff that don't, like when people are trying to like hook up with Aloy, if you like just brush them off, whatever. You can be nice to them, but still say "fuck you."
yeah, that's true. That was like that was like kind of because with the Batman Telltale games, like if you're a certain way to like commission to Gordon and he'd be more on your side and blah blah blah. But like for stories like that, it's like God, this guy if telling this guy he can't hit it, it's going to impact the story like later on. Like
I want
to have a call from him or cavalry, and he's like, no, you know what? You didn't throw that shit in a circle.
I thought about that too, but you're safe from that. You know the big story questions because it's like, people are like, hey, they tell you the options. If you do this, this is gonna happen, or if you do this, this could happen. What do you want to do? And it's like, oh shit, here we go. It's like, that moment is right there because they weigh out right in front of you what can happen based on your decision. And it's only like it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen like at least 2 or 3 times in the game, and they're huge. You can tell they're huge decisions. So,
yeah, overall, I'm enjoying playing the game. So we talked about this on a podcast before. There's a game called Man Eater, and they released a DLC for it a while ago, and I downloaded it, and I haven't had a chance to play it. I'm like, I was literally looking through my catalog. I was like, holy shit, I forgot I fucking bought this. Like, and I got to play it because the first version, the original game was hilarious as fuck. Like it was such a. It was a game that went under the radar. Like nobody really talked about this game. Then I played it. I was like, this game is so much fucking fun. You're a goddamn small shark in a fucking swampland, and you're just fucking going out like eating little guppies and slowly getting bigger. Where you're eating fucking alligators, and eventually you're out in the ocean, fucking up like killer whales and like eating fucking nuclear tanks and bombs and shit like that. Just slowly getting bigger and bigger. And I just want to see like where the expansion takes you from there because like. I mean, at the end, you're basically a fucking kaiju. And they even make reference to kaijus inside of the game. But like, I don't know, I gotta play the game because it's the original was so much fun, and I paid for the DLC, and I need to take advantage of the DLC.
And you should put that Horizon though.
I got a Horizon. I need to concentrate on Horizon though.
I was stuck on Horizon for like a week and a half. I mean, I beat the game, but I'm so close to platinuming it. But I had to step away, and now I'm on the Star Wars stuff. The Star Wars stuff sucked me in. It's like all those feelings when watching it in the theater came back while playing this game. I was like, how does this Lego game manage to pull this shit off? It's so fucking fun.
You know, it's funny. Like last week, I talked about how I got there was a totem I found of Kratos.
Oh yeah,
from the God of War. Like, and there's 3 other totems you have to find. If one of those totems isn't fucking Tupac, because I mean this is fucking the Forbidden West.
Oh my god,
there need to be a Tupac. I need a fucking Tupac totem. He's got to have like the bandana, the like tattoo on his fucking chest. Like that shit would be fucking wild out.
It would, but you ain't gonna see that.
West Side.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Are you gaming, Prodigy? Oh, you doing that Elden Ring bullshit?
No, yeah, I mean that's been my shit. I mean, I'm still like 60 hours in, maybe 70 now. I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw this shit with Elden Ring. Like, I guess a lot of people are making fun of the guy who can't get bitches or whatever not. But like,
so
I heard there's like some shit that's kind of follows up with that.
Just so you know, that's actually your character who he's talking.
Okay.
Like, that's at the very beginning of the game, and he's like, "You ain't got no maidens." So.
Yeah, you bitchless. That's so bad.
So I'm really enjoying that one. I mean, it might crack my top 3 of all time. Let me finish it, but it's way the fuck up there. There's
That's
all
a bold statement.
Hidden secrets. Yeah. The thing that got me was there's walls that have invisible fucking hitboxes, and certain ones you hit like 50 fucking times and it opens up a whole fucking new area. So
oh shit.
Yeah, like oh my god. PvP
I mean,
it's just impressive all the way around. The soundtrack, the enemy variation, and then there's just so much variety. I want to play different types of ways, you know what I mean? From range attack to using a little bit more magic. There's just a lot. There's a lot of different systems in it. So I love it.
I mean, the game is high rated, high praise. People are like, the media is still talking about this game. Like all the secrets, speedrunners, what they're doing. Yep. People are, I mean, there's some glitches in the game, but people seem to love them. Even though they hate dying, they're like, oh, this glitch is fucked up, but I'm still going to reset and try to do this again. I've seen people die 11 times and then finally beat a boss. They're all crying and stuff. Like their friends are like, oh my God, you did it. They're all clapping and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
I get it.
It gives you, it does give you clues on a better way to approach the thing. You know, like if you're solo and you use your summoning spirits and you level those up, it's going to be easier for you. Or if you actually use your smithing stones and, you know, max out your actual weapon, or you get some great swords and, you know, it's a little bit easier. Then also don't be ashamed to summon people in, you know what I mean? Like actual other players. So, but
yeah, I mean, I get it. I feel like it's not the kind of game for me. It's not my kind of masochism.
Yeah, it's all good.
No suffering.
It doesn't have to be like, there's some pretty easy bosses. I swear to God, there's like really, really easy ones.
You swear to who? So you're already bullshitting. You said you swear to God. You don't even believe in God. This is fucking bullshit.
There are plenty of easy bosses. There's plenty of easy characters or whatever. But yeah, you just got a whole lot of freedom to do whatever the fuck kind of actual play style you want. You know what I mean? Whether it's archery or swords or hammers or fucking just all sorcery.
What if I just wanted to move faster as a character? Is that possible in the game?
Yeah, you have a fucking horse that can dash and jump. So.
I mean, like actually attack faster.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you can control the speed. Your it depends on whether you're using a heavy weapon or like daggers or yeah.
I gotta push back a little bit on Kronos' statement about you and God. I mean, Cronus, this man's getting married, so we already know that we're in a different timeline.
He's
now,
rolling back.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's either regressing or he's some kind of new evolved version of Prodigy that Elden Ring might have helped this, so
that's fucking Mandela effect.
yeah, maybe.
I'm just a lowly tarnish.
Well,
he's like, I was always pro marriage and pro Jesus.
Little quick side note: if you ever play Oregon Trail and you want to get to the end like really really fucking fast, don't buy clothes, food, or anything. Just buy a whole lot of oxes. Or,
that's old school trick.
That is a really good old school
But
trick.
in real life, though, you can still die dysentery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's the worst. Family, all you need to get is to the end.
As long as one of you makes it with your oxen.
Speaking of which, though, just for new people or whatever, yes, that game was incredibly racist to Native Americans, and like you would play it today and be like, "What the fuck is this?" And there's plenty of Native American groups that have been like, "This was one of the worst things that's happened to us." And in terms of modern video,
not really. I mean,
video games.
Oh, in video games, yeah, but I mean, in real life, they had definitely shittier things happen to them.
Yeah, but in terms of video games, and so yeah, I mean, if they do make a modern version, I heard some rumors that they were. I hope they fix some shit because it could be great from an educational standpoint as well. But the real one was Carmen Sandiego.
Well, I mean, the problem is that when we try to make a remake of that era, like you'd have to lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're 100%. You'd have to lie. You'd have to basically, whitewash what happened to the native people of this land at that time. Like what actually happened to them. Like why are they gone? Yeah. And that's an issue. So I think honestly, when I think of that, I don't want there to be a remake. Like
unless they did it like how the Teen Titans Go did it. Because they did a whole.
Okay, so you're making a bad situation worse.
Episode.
How fucking dare you, Blue? Hope you die.
There hasn't been a Teen Titan Go reference in the show for years.
It can keep going for years more.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. We'll fucking see.
All right, wait. I don't. Before have anybody watched any more episodes of Diabolical, the Boys animated series?
Ah, shit, I forgot.
Oh no, I haven't seen.
Yeah,
I
need to watch more.
Yeah,
I watched the first one. Yeah,
I know. Cronus watched the first one, but like, you're kind of lukewarm about it. But like, it gets so much. The last episode's the best because they talk like it's basically the origin story of Homelander, and it's. But every episode after that one, the first one, it just gets fucking crazier and dankier, and it's like, what the fuck?
I'll check it out. I've been busy with like other shit. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up then. Old Ninja, what you got popping this week?
So, just really quickly, I didn't talk to Blue and I briefly talked about it, but Young Justice Phantoms is back.
Oh yeah, I'm all caught up on that one.
And it's like 3 episodes. I don't know if they released 3 episodes or if I'm just behind an episode because there's a new episode basically tonight. We still haven't talked about Star Trek Picard or Discovery yet.
Oh man.
We'll get to it. There's a new episode of Picard tonight. Yeah. I did not talk about Halo yet, but I'll probably wait until next week. I talked about the first episode. I'm gonna talk about the second, third episodes in an hour and a half. I'm probably going to watch one or both of those tonight. I didn't get to see the second episode of Moon Knight because it aired today. I'll probably watch that sometime over the weekend. So I'm really excited to see what this next episode of Moon Knight goes. So I want to know more about this character and see how things progress. I'm going to be playing this Star Wars Skywalker Saga, the Lego version. Kind of pretty heavy this weekend. It's been getting warmer in the base, so I might steal the beach day. We'll see. And then what else is missing? There's some other stuff that we're supposed to talk about. I can't think of it right now, but that's it for me.
What you got, Cronus?
I got my first haircut in 2 years last week, which is great. I mean, it was like last Thursday, so that's why it's like grown out, sort of. So, but it was nice. You probably can't tell because I have male pattern baldness because I'm a man and old as fuck. Well, not old as fuck, but I'm getting older. In my 40s. But yeah, it was good to actually get a haircut and catch up with my my old barber. I I went back to my old barber because, why the fuck not?
You're black.
Yeah.
You do.
we had some really good barbershop talk, which I will not talk about on a podcast. It's not what the fuck you do. I'm just saying. We had a good conversation though. And other than that, still doing the whole like move thing, which is going to be good, but we have some issues with the contractor, which we're going to meet with tomorrow. There was something else that I wanted. Oh, here we go. Rescue residents. This is what I want to talk about for my outro. Is that the ambulance has been repaired, and Matt from Pre-Recorded Live picked it up. Matt and Becky from Pre-Recorded Live picked it up last weekend, and it drove all the way back just fine, and it's good to go. The next steps are getting it over to a diesel mechanic to see if there's anything else wrong with it, because we need to drive it back from Ohio all the way to SoCal, Southern California. So we want to make sure that it's going to make the trip, and also so it's good enough to be our demo vehicle and understand like really like the ins and outs of like making these things into an RV. And the first one that we bought is not going to be the one that we're going to give to somebody else like right away. This is going to be like the one like where we like figure out the kinks. Like, how do you make these ambulances into an RV? How hard is it to do? Like, what materials do we need to like make these things into an RV? And so we're going to basically use this first vehicle to car shows and other various like, veterans organizations and homeless, organizations, and like say, hey, this is what we're going to do for, homeless vets. And we're going to give them these basically revamped RVs from ambulances and make it their home. And they're going to take them where they want to go, because there's places in California where you're priced out. Like unless you make a certain income in like the vast majority of California, where like most people are, like you can't afford, the cost of living. So this is like part of our plan. So yeah, like we're looking forward to like going out there and picking it up and driving it back. But there's still a couple more things we got to do. I'm just glad that it runs now and that we got it repaired, and I'm just like really looking forward to like all the things that are going to come. And yeah, we actually have a board meeting tomorrow, so I look forward to that as well.
What's cool is that like Becky, she posted up pictures of the inside of the ambulance, and I'm actually surprised how big those things. I've never actually been in one. I'm not going. What?
Oh, you're lucky. Yeah.
But yeah, like wow, I was actually impressed on how large it actually is in one of those.
Yeah, and we got lucky actually with this one because, well, lucky but unlucky. That's a whole nother thing. But we got lucky in the fact that vehicle was actually it was converted into like a command vehicle. So it was actually used for the sheriff's department. It was a former ambulance that got turned into like a command center for a sheriff's department. And now we're going to use it to be an RV for a homeless veteran. So, yeah.
Cool.
That's all I got.
That's good stuff. Congrats on that. Blue, what you got?
I ain't got nothing. And you know this, man. No, I'm continue playing Forbidden West. I've actually been on there's a company reached out to me about a job opportunity, and I've been on a couple of interviews for them, and it's actually looking pretty good. So hopefully that kind of pans out. Don't let them see this. My other job don't know about this podcast. Even though I almost made it slip because it's been a couple of years since I did the interview with Nichelle Nichols.
That was today.
Yeah. Basically it was today. And I was gonna send it I was literally about to send it to a castmate. And I was like, wait, hold up. I don't want them to know about the podcast. And they're gonna want to listen to it and blah blah blah. And I'm gonna get in trouble because there's some shit that I've talked about on this podcast about work. Yeah, anyways. A little update on my son, little Sebastian. Yeah, this kid's trying to walk. Like the Sweetness and I will play this little pass the kid game where we'll stand on one end and she'll stand on the other end. And he'll like walk to one of us and walk back to one of us, and it's like, holy shit, this kid is like literally fucking walking around. And it's crazy. He's comfortable like walking from like going from his we have like one of those play gates that Cronus got us. He'll go from that to the couch and back and forth, or he'll do like a leap of fate where he's in a kitchen and he'll like walk down the kitchen to one of us, and it's like, hold up, wait, kid, like we're not ready for you. So he's taking that initiative on walking, and it's really cool to see. And my mom said that I started walking at 13 months. 13 years. I was 13 years old when I first started walking. But
so bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that he can beat me as far as walking, but it's really cool and to see like how he's grown and this and that. But yeah, other than that, plan on going out drinking this weekend, kind of breaking the quarantine and kind of trying to get back into normal life.
I mean, we did a couple weeks ago. Me and you together.
Yeah, we did. It was really fun hanging out with you guys without a mask and having some good food and listening to some good music, which was cool. Like it was kind of random. We were hanging out in this one spot, and there was like a jazz person playing on top of this mezzanine. Yeah, what that word?
Parkway.
You know,
Marceline. So you said.
Yeah. Actually, I started watching Adventure Time right now because it's on HBO Max, and like that show is a little adult. Like, there's a lot of adult humor in that. I'm like, wait,
we had said this though. We said this on this podcast.
No, I remember that, but I didn't. I like watching it again. It's like, wow, like there's like I'm talking about like kind of sexual content. Like, there's
we been said that on this podcast. We even said this about Animaniacs, Tiny Toons when they aired. There's a lot of adult
not that.
shit in
I'm
there.
talking about. I'm like, there's a scene where Bubblegum Princess is like kissing her hand, and like the Ice King is like, "Oh, hey, I got a hand that can help you out with that." I'm like, wait a minute, like it's almost like she was masturbating, and he came in and caught her masturbating, and he was like, "Hey, I have a hand that can help you with that too." And it's like, wow, like they really went there. But like, it went over my head the first time, but watching it again, I'm like, wow, that's really. And then there's like a scene where BMO, he's the guy that's behind my back, like he's off to a corner, and he's basically a Game Boy, and he's playing a game on himself. And like Jake walks in, he's like, "Oh, hey, BMO, are you playing with yourself?" He's like, "No, don't look," and whatever that. It's like, there's a lot of adult humor in this game. I mean, this show that just either flew over my head or like I noticed it, but like watching it again, it's like, wow, they really have that in there. But yeah, anyways. Good fucking times, but yeah, that's about it. That's all that's kind of calculating with me.
Good shit. Well, I'm really fucking glad to be back on here with you guys. For those who don't know,
as regular,
just been listening. It is not that I was trying to not be on the podcast, but your boy was working literally well past this time of night, pretty much 7 days a week. And that fucking project stopped for work, and I'll be back on regularly now, which is awesome. The other thing I want to really catch up on, I want to see if it's still in theaters, is Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, this anime movie. So I'm hoping to see that maybe Friday, Saturday or something, and then give a review next week, because I'm hearing great things about it, like high 90s in terms of the reviews and whatnot, and it did well in the box office. So definitely want to check that out. Still playing a little bit more Elden Ring, and I like Snowfall and Atlanta a whole lot. Those shows are fucking killing it.
Oh shit, I forgot Atlanta's back. And so is Woke. Woke season 2 is back.
Oh, it is? Shit, I didn't know it's back.
Yeah,
yet.
Woke season 2 started end of March.
I watched the 3 Slaps episode of Atlanta like more than once. That shit fucked me up. I even actually showed my eldest son that episode, because it was.
You let him watch that show?
Well, no, just that episode, because it was so impactful. You know, with the one where it's all about Donald Glover is barely in it, but it's all about him going to foster care and getting abused and all of that. You don't remember that one? Yeah.
I haven't seen any of season 2, so.
Oh, dude, this is like the current season, but in any event, that's all I got. Really, really populating. Yeah, take us on out.
All right. You just experienced Black and Black times Infinity. We kind of leveled up, even though Prodigy was lying about where he was. We know he was running from Voodoo Police. It's fine. We covered for him. You can check us out anywhere, everywhere with BTI. That's BTHANBTI STHANBTI. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, everywhere you listen to podcasts, check us out every Wednesday. If you stumbled upon us randomly through some weird algorithm, or every Wednesday night, 8:30 Pacific time, we go live. And if you're listening to us from a past episode, you know that we're still doing this every Wednesday live, 8:30 Pacific time, or 8:30-ish. Depending. You can email us, bevisandbti@gmail.com. We have a website, spinheadproductions.com/bevisandbti. We're also on Discord. If you want to know, email us. We'll figure you out how to get you did. There you go.
Celebrate Food Friday this week.
Nope.
Do it.
That's what got you in trouble in the first place. Just saying.
I got Ezra in trouble.
He's geeky.